How's it going, everybody? Texas Man here. I hope you guys are all having a fabulous day. Give this video a thumbs up if you guys really enjoy it. Subscribe if you guys have not already. Also, do me the biggest favor of all. Hit the bell notification button and select all for all notifications so you guys don't miss out on future videos or streams here on my channel. Also, head over to Twitch. Follow me for free at Douglas447. No spaces, and that is with a capital D to find me. That's Douglas447 on Twitch. I do streams from there from time to time. And in this video, we're going to be continuing on reading through my book series. This is going to be part 2 of the Chronicles of Unit 4, The Core Rises. Of course, make sure you guys check out part 1 before you guys continue on in this video. And in this part, we are going to be reading through chapter 3, if you guys are reading with me, the Book of Power, and chapter 4, Dark Time. So we'll be starting off in chapter 3, reading chapter 4, and that will end this part. And then I'll see you guys, of course, in part 3 coming out very soon. So I hope you guys all enjoy. Chapter 3, The Book of Power. Unit 4 had just passed between the planets Tom Bomb and Lecton and saw Yon 4 in the distance. Hours passed by. Unit 4 had just entered Yon 4's atmosphere. The team could see that this planet was one gigantic jungle with a few colonies that settlers were currently living inside of to survive. "Where do we start the search?" asked Paul to Douglas. "Remember that the scrolls told about a mountain base that the 2nd Unit 4 team used, and it hinted that one of them left something of great value inside?" said Douglas. "Heading for the mountains," said Paul. The team looked out of the glass windows to see strange creatures that appeared like aliens to the group. 20 minutes later. Paul landed the V-87, and within minutes the team was packing with food and weapons to begin the search for the mountain base. The team walked around the jungle and found something they did not intend. Unit 4 looked around and found an armored jeep with 5 seats, 2 forward machine guns with bullets still in the barrels, and 1 back machine gun that could shoot 20 bullets in 1 second. The vehicle had an orange paint job, large spots of dirt on the sides, and numerous blaster and bullet holes from the battle during the conflict at the town with Henry and Dyke. "Open the driver door, Paul, and start the engine," said Douglas. Paul did as he was commanded to, and within seconds all of the team was in the armored jeep known as the ARC 170. Minutes later. Paul stopped the ARC 170 because of what he saw. "What is this tall and wide steel door doing as a part of this mountain base?" asked Christie. "This is the mountain base, and inside I bet you the Book of Power lies safely," said Douglas. Unit 4 stepped out of the armored jeep and walked towards the steel door. "Looks like the panel to enter the code has been disconnected with a lightsaber," said Devon. I guess Ash Becca wanted to ensure the book's safety, but no worry, I think my lightsaber can cut through the door," said Douglas. Douglas drew his green lightsaber and began to create a large hole in the steel door. Within 2 minutes, Douglas had created an opening to allow the team to enter the base. At the same time, Unit 4 saw an armed ship landing a couple miles away from the team's current location. Unit 4 rushed into the mountain base and did not stop to look at the base's waterfall because they knew the enemy was coming to collect the book to rule the universe. 10 minutes later. "Douglas, I found something," said Devon. Douglas ran towards his brother and told Paul and Christie to come with him. Devon had found a staircase that led all the way to the top of the waterfall. "None of us have found the book on this main floor, so maybe Ash placed it high on the top of the waterfall to help hide it," said Douglas. The team looked up to realize this was not going to be an easy walk, but instead they would be hiking a 200-foot tall waterfall. 1 hour later. The army of 30 Icemen had just entered the mountain base and saw the team hiking the stairs to the top of the waterfall. "Unit 4, this is an ice captain. If you don't come down the stairs, my men will be ordered to fire upon you and kill you with our ice guns," said the captain. "Sorry, Ice Captain, but you're going to have to chase us down to stop us," said Douglas. "Open fire," said the ice captain, yet Unit 4 was too high for the Icemen to aim and kill. "How much farther do we have to go?" asked Paul to Devon, who was leading the way. "We are here," said Devon. The team looked up to see that they had reached the top of the waterfall and a small box on a red carpet. Paul picked up the box and saw that the words were written on it. "It says only my descended members can call my name and open the box to reveal my invention," said Paul. Unit 4 was puzzled. For what it said was Ash married, had a baby, and that only someone from his family tree could open it by holding the book in their hands and speaking the inventor's name. Ash, those men are coming, Douglas, said Devon. Douglas had realized that he had sent his friends and himself to death, because the Icemen were coming towards the team using the only escape route, and none of Unit 4 was a part of Ash's family tree. We can't use the Book of Power to save ourselves, said Christie. Paul tried to open it, but was unsuccessful and prepared to defend the pathway, while the others attempted to open the box. Christie tried and failed to open the box, and the same result occurred with Devon. Douglas, I can see them approaching us, said Paul. Kill them all and bring me the Book of Power, said the ice captain to his men. Open fire, said Paul to his wife and Devon. While the battle was occurring, something inside of Douglas's heart led him to try to open the box instead of firing his blaster and helping his friends defend the book from entering the wrong hands. I must be crazy to think that this is going to work, said Douglas. Douglas picked up the box, and suddenly the box turned from the color black to gold. Ash, said Douglas. The box opened to reveal a book with a cover of gold and words on the cover reading, The Book of Power. On the only page in the book read, Philip Uck is the word to save, protect, and destroy. All of the other Unit 4 members and the remaining Icemen and the ice captain looked to Douglas with the Book of Power in his hands. Douglas looked at the ice captain and the Iceman with a grin. Philip Uck, said Douglas. All of the Icemen, including the ice captain, froze into a solid piece of rock and then exploded to remain as if nothing existed but a few small pieces of dust that the naked eye could not easily see. Shall we return home and find out where the bad doctor is located, said Douglas. Why, Douglas? You have the power to destroy planets. Just destroy the planet Pluto where Dr. Ice and the Arm is located and end this conflict once and for all, said Paul. I can't, said Douglas. I can only kill him if I am physically near him. Plus the Arm has moved to another planet, said Douglas. How could you know that? Asked Devon. The Book of Power has given me the ability to see the future, just like Ashbecca, said Douglas. You mean you're a part of Ashbecca's family tree, but not me, said Devon. I think it has to do with the fact that I was brought into the universe before you, or maybe Ash wanted me to be the only person with these powers, said Douglas. Hold my hand that is touching the Book of Power, said Douglas. Philip Buck, said Douglas. The team opened their eyes to see that they were inside of the 53N OT4 base. I can also use the Book of Power to teleport people and objects, said Douglas. Look, said Christie. Unit 4 entered the hangar bay to see that Douglas had also teleported the team's spaceship, the V-87. Hey Douglas, this battle with the Arm and Dr. Ice isn't going to take long to end and grant us a victory, said Paul. That will be true, unless Dr. Ice gets his frozen hands on this book, because if they do, all hell would be unleashed, said Douglas. Chapter 4. Dark Times. Location, Earth 2, the White House. Douglas informed the president what happened on Yon 4 and asked what their next mission was. Doors opened behind the team to allow a 43-year-old woman with brown eyes and brown hair to enter the noble office and walk towards the president and Unit 4. This is Deborah Armstrong, Douglas and Devon's mother, said the president. There was no reaction at all between the brother and her sons. Are you not at all shocked to see your mother? Asked Paul. No, because I had a vision of the future that told me I would see my thought-to-be-dead mother alive, and that she would deliver the bad news about Dr. Ice, said Douglas. I told Devon ahead of time so he could be prepared to meet her, continued Douglas. I would like to know how you are alive and not dead, like Dad said when he battled me in the past war, said Douglas. Did he tell you first that I died of brain cancer before you killed him? Asked Deborah. Yes, replied Douglas. Well, I almost died of brain cancer. Your father injected me with some new drug that caused my disease, and afterwards left me to die, said Deborah. The drug he had injected me is called Intani, and with pure blessings, the doctors were able to kill this disease before it took my life, said Deborah. I do have some news about the dark times we are living. We know that Dr. Ice and the Arm have left Pluto, and we have no idea where the Arm has moved to, but we have learned there are a number of armed ships in Sector 21, said Deborah. Why are they there? Well, That is what you're going to have to find out, said Deborah. If it is something that will threaten the core, you're ordered to stop it by all means necessary, said Deborah. I guess you already know about this, Mr. President, said Douglas. Yes, but when you are done in Sector 21, I want your team to travel to the planet FE-74 to ensure the planet is lifeless. And secondly, I want you four to travel to Core Cloud and help with the political problem between the planet's Core Cloud and C7S6, said the President. Those missions will be completed and will return soon, said Douglas. Unifor left the White House and departed for Sector 21 on the V-87. Danger, Ranger, for you should know what lies in Sector 21, said a voice inside of Douglas's head. Douglas, wake up! We just passed the planets Martor and Polaic, said Devon on the V-87's command bridge. Thank you, Devon, said Douglas. Hey guys, do any of you remember if there is something dangerous in Sector 21? Asked Douglas. I do remember that the 2nd Unifor team told about them entering a black hole, and that's how they destroyed an Empire factory, said Paul. Why would the ARM have ships anywhere near such a dangerous sector in the universe? Asked Douglas. Maybe it's because those ARM ships are looking for something to win this war, and it's in this sector, said Christie. We've arrived, said Paul, looking at his computer and out of the glass windows. I count a total of 6 armed ships, and the enemy's cannons are in range of us. Yet they are not firing, said Devon. What should we do now? Asked Paul. Devon, load all cannons and missiles. Christie, I want you to hack the ship's logs to find out what they are looking for, who is on that ship, and if the ship is in any damage, said Douglas. All cannons and missiles are loaded, said Devon. It would appear that each armed ship is carrying 30 dead Icemen, and that the ship has a gigantic hole that probably caused the death of them all, said Christie. It would seem that they were looking for Ash's, Sam's, and Mr. Dave's bodies for Dr. Ice to use in an experiment, said Christie. What would Dr. Ice want with 2 old Unifor members and a recently killed evil leader? Asked Douglas in his mind. Douglas, do you want me to open fire and destroy those armed ships? Asked Devon. No. We've not been able to determine if K-67 is placed in the atmosphere and if it would kill the Intani in the body of the Icemen and return them to regular humans, said Douglas. Load a missile with K-67 and fire it into a ship, said Douglas to Devon. The Icemen are already dead. What good would that do? Asked Paul. I brought the Book of Power with me, said Douglas. Fill a buck, said Douglas, with the book in his hands. Look, the holes in all 6 of the armed ships are sealing, said Christie. I thought the Book of Power was left at the 53N OT4 base, said Paul. I added a secret area on this ship where I placed it until we needed it, said Douglas. Devon fired the missile that was filled with K-67 and watched as it entered the ship and began releasing K-67. 3 minutes later. The K-67 had spread throughout the whole ship, and we are waiting for the results, said Devon. Douglas, the Icemen are still dead. How is sealing the hole going to bring them back to life, said Paul. In this book, I can bring 2 people back to life, and I plan to bring back one of the Icemen to life, said Douglas. Fill a buck, said Douglas. Sir, an armed ship that has the K-67 spread throughout has an Iceman alive and is moving towards the command bridge, said Christie. The Iceman is not showing any type of signs from the K-67. It's like he doesn't even know it is on board, said Devon. Give the K-67 10 more seconds to work, and if it doesn't, then Paul can open fire and destroy all 6 armed ships, said Douglas. Sir, the Iceman is at the ship's command bridge and is loading all cannons and missiles, said Devon. He knows we're here, said Christie. Douglas, 10 seconds are up, said Devon. Destroy them all, ordered Douglas. Wait! Exclaimed Devon. Unifor looked out of the glass window to see the most devastating and terrible object in the universe. Sector 21's black hole was behind the 6 armed ships. Push engines and get us out of this sector, said Douglas. Zoom! The black hole was eating the armed ships. Get us moving, said Douglas. Zoom, zoom, zoom! The black hole had eaten 3 more armed ships. We can't activate the engines because of the black hole, said Devon. Zoom, zoom! The black hole had finished eating all the armed ships. Let us hope that it doesn't decide to come any closer and eat us also, said Paul. If it does, I have the Book of Power to help us, said Douglas. Look, guys, said Devon, pointing out towards the black hole. The black hole was moving away from the V-87, and the ship's engines were turning on automatically. Douglas, did you do that? Asked Paul. Yes, I did, And one day I'll be able to tame that beast more and use it against Dr. Ice, said Douglas. What now, sir? Asked Paul. Let's go take the bodies of Ash Sam and Mr. Dave to our base, and then head towards the planet FE-74 to see if the planet is lifeless, said Douglas. Hours later, Unifor found the 3 bodies in the remains of the space station that the first Unifor team traveled to, with the child and Ash's parents, when Morg launched the missiles to help Octopunny take over Earth. Douglas never knew that his father was going to have an important role in the end of all this, and in Douglas's mind some voice was hinting at him to bring them all to life. The voice said that one would stand, one would sacrifice themselves, and the other would die, all in the name of God. What really troubled Douglas was that he could not decide what would happen if he brought them back to life. Would one of them help the Corps and Unit 4? Would one join the Arm and then rebel to only join the Corps at the end? Would one become an evil leader, build an army, and continue this growing conflict between good and evil, Corps and Arm, God and Satan? Unifor left the space station remains, took the bodies back to the 53N OT4 base on Earth 2, and began the journey to the planet FE-74. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in part 3 coming out very soon. Bye guys.